So, what's the best way to choose a career for yourself? What's the best way to decide what it is you should go into, what it is you should do? Um, so, there's two ways to look at it. And first of all, you could always follow what your heart's passion is, what you feel as if, throughout your life you felt drawn toward it, either because of something that happened during your childhood, something that happened to a family member, or just something that you saw that really just triggered for you this path of career, this path of interest that leads to a career. Is for me. If you don't have, any particular source of direction or something determined of that sort, another thing to consider, obviously, is what is needed. For example, right now, if you look at what's going on in the in the society with the virus epidemic, it might be something worth consider to invest in a career in healthcare. First of all, at this time, it's kind of pretty obvious now that there are times that we may encounter situations where the healthcare system is overwhelmed because hospitals are full. They have too many people with dire situations, and so some people are left at home just not able to get the access to expert care. So in a situation like that, if somebody was, for example, picking a career or thinking about what they wanted to do, it might be worth them considering that, hey, knowing something about healthcare or having some sort of licensed credentials in that field might be worth it, just because, in the event something happened, you would be able to, invest your energy. And even if it was a stay-at-home mom sort of situation, or somebody that was not, um, you know, on the field investing their energy into whatever was going on in the crowd of healthcare. At the very least, they would be able to help out their family members, and something like that would can help tide them over. It can help tide them over until um, there's more availability of hospital beds or whatever have you. So these are things to consider. Is to consider that while we see things going on, and that to take lessons from it, and just to take lessons about what could happen in the future if a situation like that, or something even more exacerbated than that, were to recur. How would you be able to, look out for your family, look out for, your community, or whatever have you? What are the sort of mechanisms and, you know, uh, just logistical things that should be in place in order to facilitate making such situations easier? Um, I think these are things that should be on people's minds at this time. Just really kind of trying to figure out if they were to face a situation like that sometime in the future, what would be the best sort of avenues for them to employ and to invest in at this time, in order to help tide them over. So instead of just being caught up in feeling debilitated by the idea that you can't go here, or you can't do this, and you can't do everything that you normally want to do, which is true and that sucks. But more importantly, okay, so if this is possible, if the lockdown scenario, whatever have you, is possible, then what would you do if a situation that was similar to that, or were to happen in future? How would you be prepared for it? How would you invest in, you know, just educating yourself, or, investing in certain careers and learning, or whatever have you, any kind of um, measures that you could undertake, financial measures of savings, whatever? How would you be able to do that, in order to kind of help sort of anticipate something like that happening again in the future? So so this is something that I was just thinking that more people should think about. So not focusing so much on the being aggravated by the current circumstances, but in taking lessons from it, and kind of trying to anticipate um, what they would do if a similar situation were to happen again. Um, so then they don't, claim to be caught off guard, and claim to be frustrated by the circumstances they're facing, if you've gone to some lengths to kind of prepare for it a little bit, at least. Okay.